What is React? React is a JavaScript library developed by Facebook for building user interfaces, particularly for single-page applications. It allows developers to create reusable UI components that manage their own state, making it easier to build complex UIs in a predictable and efficient manner. What are the main features of React? Some of the main features of React include JSX, a syntax extension that allows writing HTML-like code within JavaScript. Components. React applications are built using components, which can be functional or class-based. Virtual DOM. React uses a virtual representation of the DOM to optimize rendering and improve performance. State and props. State allows components to manage their own data, while props enable passing data between components. Lifecycle methods. Special methods that allow developers to hook into different stages of a component's lifecycle. What is the difference between state and props? State. State is a built-in object that allows components to manage their own data. It is mutable and can be changed using the setState method. Props, short for properties, are read-only attributes passed from a parent component to a child component. They are immutable and cannot be changed by the child component. What are React hooks? React hooks are functions that allow developers to use state and other React features in functional components. The most commonly used hooks are useState, for managing state in functional components. useEffect, for performing side effects in functional components, such as data fetching or subscriptions. useContext, for accessing context values without needing to wrap components in a context consumer. What is the purpose of the useEffect hook? The useEffect hook is used to perform side effects in functional components. It can be used for tasks such as data fetching, subscriptions, or manually changing the DOM. The hook takes two arguments, a function that contains the side effect and an optional dependency array that determines when the effect should run. What is the virtual DOM and how does it work? The virtual DOM is a lightweight copy of the actual DOM that React uses to optimize rendering performance. When a component's state or props change, React creates a new virtual DOM tree. It then compares this new tree with the previous one using a process called reconciliation. Only the differences, or diffs, are updated in the actual DOM, minimizing the number of direct manipulations and improving performance. What are controlled and uncontrolled components? Controlled components. These are components where the form data is handled by the React component state. The input value is controlled by React, and changes are managed through event handlers. Uncontrolled components. These components store their own state internally. The form data is accessed using refs, and React does not control the input values. What is Redux, and how does it relate to React? Redux is a state management library that can be used with React and other frameworks to manage application state in a predictable way. It provides a central store for the entire application state, allowing components to access and update the state through actions and reducers. Redux helps in managing complex state logic and facilitates easier debugging and testing. What are higher-order components, HOCs? Higher-order components, HOCs, are functions that take a component as an argument and return a new component. They are used to share common functionality between components without repeating code. HOCs can be used for tasks such as data fetching, authentication, and managing state. How do you optimize performance in a React application? Performance optimization in a React application can be achieved through several strategies. Using the virtual DOM. React's reconciliation process minimizes direct DOM manipulations. Memoization. Using React the memo for functional components and pure component for class components to prevent unnecessary re-renders. Code splitting. Implementing lazy loading of components using React.lazy and suspense. Avoiding inline functions. Defining functions outside of render methods to prevent recreation on each render. Using the useCallback and useMemo hooks to memoize functions and values, respectively.